The hospitality industry is gearing up for a bumper festive season. For the first time in 2 years, it will not be hampered by COVID-19 regulations. The pandemic severely impacted travel, tourism and hospitality industries. Newzroom Afrika's Nasiphi Same is talking to role players about their plans to recoup some of the losses. Nasiphi Same, place yourself for us and tell us about the expectation.
Well, expectations are looking quite peachy for the tourism and hospitality industry in the Western Cape and also in Cape Town, taking into account the devastating impact that the COVID-19 pandemic has had on this industry for the past 2 years. And for the first time since 2019, the industry will be able to thoroughly enjoy the festive season and its gains by having no restrictions of COVID-19 for this year. But to talk to us more on the trends that they are currently seeing in the Western Cape, or in Cape Town rather, I'm joined by Enver Domini from the Cape Town Tourism. Thank you so much for your time. But talk to us about the recovery of the tourism and hospitality industry.
I think you're absolutely correct. It's been almost 3 years of devastation because of COVID-19, and I'm happy to report that our numbers are looking positive. If I look at arrivals are, of course, sitting at 80% on average, and with international actually sitting a lot higher than domestic as far as recovery to 2019. And that's because we've put on so many additional flights, routes, frequencies, and there's even now the Delta flight that's coming from Atlanta that's arriving here on the 19th of December. And just for us, I mean, we are so excited that the numbers are looking positive. Also, occupancy is quite buoyant. We're sitting at about between 75 and 80% occupancy. Even reporting when I was chatting to some of the GMs, specifically in the CBD, they are sitting with 100% occupancy. And we still got the Rugby Sevens happening this weekend. We've got a full lineup of events throughout the season. So, yeah, we're definitely a lot more positive than last year this time.
And then, I mean, looking at the number of people and the influx of people coming in, as you mentioned, a majority of the influx is international tourists and visitors. What measures are being put in place to ensure that they are also safe when they are in the city?
So I think there's a few things we've done. We of course, approach safety through a proactive and a reactive programs. Through the proactive stuff is, of course, around messaging, making sure we work with the industry in making sure that they put in safety precautions. We're not talking about just security. This could even be health safety. We mustn't forget that's also critically important when you look at restaurants, hotels, etc. And we have these programs have been running throughout even over the last 12 months in order to be ready for season. But then, of course, the city themselves have deployed extra boots on the ground. They've even created a tourism law enforcement team for this time of year. And what we also have is the safety ambassadors in and around the city. So for us, it's an all of community, all of industry, and all of government approach to making sure that this festive is safe. We also have what we call a TravelWise program, which is a partnership with Namola. So it's a free app that you can download. And in the event you're in trouble, you just have to press the red button, which is a SOS button. Emergency service will contact you, find your geolocation, and come out and assist you if you are in trouble.
We obviously can't run away from load shedding, which is not only affecting businesses and residents. Speaking to the GMs and role players within the industry, how has the load shedding impacted them, and what measures are they putting in place?
So yeah, unfortunately, the fact that we've gone to a stage 6 has mitigated a lot of the good work that the industry has put together in order to address the impact of load shedding. I think when you look at from a city perspective overall, I mean, we can protect businesses up to 2 levels of load shedding, but with stage 6 it makes it exceptionally difficult because most businesses have implemented measures to protect them maybe for up to 3 stages. So the big concern for us is that as long as this continues, it's going to have a big impact on the tourism sector. Also, when we actually surveyed visitors with the intent to come to Cape Town, a lot of them said, at least 50% of them said, is that load shedding may impact on their travel decisions. Not just about the experience in Cape Town, but also their own safety and security back home, where the alarm system's not working, etc. So load shedding has a big impact on the sector, and it's definitely going to affect the quality of service and experience in the destination. However, I think because Cape Town is also an outdoors destination, a lot of people will be able to experience during the day amazing experiences without interruption. And then when they do go back to their hotels or the restaurants, it's candlelight dinners. I mean, how romantic can it be over Christmas and festive season? So I think we are prepared, but it is something that we'll keep our eyes on, and we'll continue to make sure we've got enough alternative energy sources to keep the industry going.
On that note, for first-time traveler coming to Cape Town, very briefly for us, what are the key holiday attractions that they must visit?
Wow. Okay, so it's always going to be the big 6 attractions, from the waterfront to Cape Point to Kirstenbosch Gardens, Boulders Beach. But I think for me is we also know that a lot of tourists are still under financial pressure. So one of the things I'll always recommend to somebody is go and check out our website and find 50 things to do in Cape Town for under 50 Rand. And for us, that is where you can do a lot of things for free. You can do things that are very cheap, but it's still a good quality of experience. So for us, is they do that, so you can actually see a lot more. And also, what also encourage people is to go into neighborhoods. Go into Khayelitsha. There's some amazing experiences there. You can go hang out with the Spinach King, Siki's Coffee. There's so much to do in Cape Town for locals, for tourists. And then I think also we mustn't just forget about the domestic tourists, which is critically important. They saved us last year because of Omicron, and we are beginning to see those numbers tick up. I know at least from those that we surveyed, a third of people surveyed are coming to Cape Town. And the fact that there's also now an additional public holiday and last-minute bookings are beginning to ramp up, this definitely is going to be a bumper season for us.
Thank you so much. Enver Domini there, Cape Town Tourism CEO, giving us an update in regards to how the Metro has prepared itself for this festive season, which is the first one since 2019 where there will be absolutely no COVID-19 regulations, and for tourists and even local travelers to thoroughly enjoy the mother city. However, we do know that issues like, the load shedding that the country is currently facing is one of the headaches that the industry has, or rather an obstacle that the industry has to ultimately overcome.
Nasiphi Same, thank you very much for that comprehensive report.